Hello everyone, welcome to Farming Simulator 25, and this is going to be a sort of mini playthrough series just to explain to new players some tips they don't really show you to add a bit more context. I will be going through the tutorial, we can sort of play together, and I'll be able to explain a bit more as we go through the tutorial, some of the stuff they don't really tell you. So it's more aimed at the beginner. I'm not a pro, but for anyone that hasn't played the game, hopefully this should help you get started. So after we get this sort of menu here, we can go talk to the granddad and then we can start our mission. I'm playing on PlayStation, so I'm not sure on the Xbox controls, but if you want to run, it's R2, which would be right back, or is it right trigger on Xbox? That's to run.
I'm glad you're here to continue the family business. The fact that you're about to take over the farm makes your pops quite happy, not gonna lie. When your father told me on a visit that he didn't want what I built here, I thought that was it. He even called it a dung heap when he left in his fancy suit. And then he stepped into manure on the way to his car. It's okay that he does his own thing, but I thought I had to sell the farm. Thanks to you, it can stay in the family. You don't know what that means to me. Otherwise, your crazy uncle might have turned it into an amusement park with the main attraction of catching chickens on the fields or something. Anyway, let's not talk about that just now. I can tell you some stories later. And just so you know, I'm not out of the picture just yet. I'm here if you need me, just like your friendly neighbors you should talk to sometime. They're nice people, a bit strange perhaps, but still delightful in their own ways. So, do you want me to give you a quick tour and show you some things? Okay then, let me show you a couple of things. Ease you in. There will always be people to help you out, but it's good to have done all the steps yourself, at least once. Right next to the farm, we're going to work on a field. There's also a big tractor with a cultivator. I'll walk you through how to operate it. I can't wait to see you get started.
So top left we have R1, R2. Is it left back, right back on Xbox? These are some of our controls when we're in our person mode. So if we press L1 and press L3 in, we can toggle the size of the map. And we can also press up on the D-pad and this will switch between tools. So if we had a chainsaw as well, we'd be able to select our chainsaw. If we press R1 and circle, we can turn our flashlight on, and this will also be used how to turn on the chainsaw. Now once we're in a tractor, the middle bit here will be L1 and R1, so when we press them two buttons together, depending on the attachment, we'll have more options.
And attach the cultivator. It's just to the back.
So if you've ploughed a field, this would be the next step. We'll be cultivating. This would just basically generally gives us a nice flat bed to lay seeds.
Just like
but
that. Exactly.
Let's jump in the tractor.
Now we do the work. Meet me at the field over there.
Now as you can see in the top left, we have a tractor symbol and there's a highlighted symbol behind it. That is the attachment. If you press up and down on the D-pad, this will change our view in and out like so. And if you wanted to change your attachment to your tractor, you would press triangle, which we're not able to do at the minute because it won't let us. But as you can see, we've got L1, L1, R1 and R1. Now we're currently attached to the cultivator, so as you can see it's highlighted here. As we've got that attachment, if we press L1 you can see it's gone green. We can raise and lower the cultivator. If we press R1 we can honk the horn. And if we press L1 and R1 together, you can toggle the radio and we have cruise control. Also, if you did want, I did say it's triangle to switch between the tractor and the attachments. On Xbox that should be Y, I believe. So we're going to be a bit of cultivating.
Here we are. So before we can sow anything on the field, we need to take care of the stubbles, cultivate it, prepare it for the next season. Otherwise, the grain will not grow very well. Lower the cultivator and drive straight ahead. It's easy as spilling milk.
Right, so what we need to do is, it says current controlled vehicle. It's got a picture of the tractor, and behind it is the highlighted attachment, which is the cultivator. This bit on the bottom is just explaining what I've told you. So as we line up, we're going to press L1 and circle, or B on Xbox, and that will lower the cultivator. And then all we need to do is drive forward. Once we get to the end of the field, we're going to press L1 and we're going to lift the cultivator again. It just makes it a bit more easy to manoeuvre, as it turns a bit slow once the cultivator is down on the ground. You can see what buttons I'm pressing, they get highlighted in green. As you'll see, the L1 will go green and I'll press circle to lift the cultivator.
Good. We're done here, kiddo. Now drive back to the garage and get out the seeder. I'll meet you there. Now we change tools, kiddo. Get rid of the cultivator and attach the seeder.
So once we've cultivated the field, we've made a nice bed. We now need to seed, so we're going to be attaching the seeder.
Now you need to attach the seeder. Drive back slowly. That's how it's done. The sewing machine you just attached is empty. But don't you fret, I just went to the store. Next to the shed you will find a big bag with seeds. Get over there to fill the seeder.
So all we need to do is drive up to it. The doors should normally open. As you see, if we press L1, R1 and all that, we've got more options for this attachment. L1, we've got open cover, lower seeder, turn on the seeder. So let's fill it up. We can open the cover with L1 and left on the D-pad, or as you drive up to it, they normally open automatically. So as we drive close, we press L3 and it should start filling. I'm not sure what the button is on Xbox.
Well done. Now you're ready to go. Last week I cultivated a field over there. Cultivated fields are ready to be sown.
So we've just done cultivating. This would be the next step we do after cultivating.
And meet me there. We'll bring out canola. Here we are. One thing you need to pay attention to is timing. Plants need to be sown in specific seasons. It's midsummer. It's the perfect time to sow canola. In any other period, you might want to switch to a different kind of crop. You can always check the crop calendar. First, we need to prepare the seeder. Choose the canola seeds, as the big bag is filled with all kinds of seeds.
So if you see here on the right side, we've got, it says wheat. If we hold in L1 and press triangle, we should be able to change to which seed we need. So we're looking for canola, and as you can see, when I press L1 it's highlighted green. On the bottom there it says triangle, which allows us to change.
Seeding is easy. While seeding, straight lines are important though. Go back and forth to bring out the seed with as few gaps as possible. At some point, you'll have to buy a big bag of seeds at the store to refill it. But now you can use what you've got. Now, you only got to switch the machine on and lower it to the ground.
Okay, all we need to do now is press L1. If we press R1, as you see triangle, we could unload our seed if we wanted to, which would make it into another bag and it would drop it next to it. If we press L1 and R1 together, we've got no other options there at the minute. It's the same cruise control and toggle radio. So we're going to press L1, and as you see we've got turn on seeder, L1, which is square. So we're going to press that to turn it on, and then we're going to press L1 and circle to lower, and now we should be good to go. Once we get to the end of the field, we're going to press L1 and circle to raise the seeder, just so it's easier to turn around, and then we're going to lower it again with L1 and circle.
That's how it's done, kiddo. Oh, by the way, always keep an eye on the weather. According to the weather forecast, it's going to rain soon. That's perfect for canola, but not as good for the wheat on the other field. If you want to hire a helping hand at some point, you can. We're done here. The helper will do the rest.
There is more advanced ways of doing the worker, but for now we can just press circle and then we'll crack on with it.
Good job. Field workers are great support if you're busy and cannot finish the job in time. Now get back to the garage and get out the harvester. Let's do it quickly. I'll meet you there.
Once you've got loads of equipment on your farm, all you need to do is press right or left on the D-pad and it will jump you to the next piece of equipment you have, which with the next vehicle. So this should jump us straight into the harvester.
Are you up for something exciting? Because we'll do the harvesting next. There's a ripe field that needs taking down. Are you still up for it? The header for the harvester sits on the trailer attached at the back. Let's meet at the field, okay, kiddo? But drive carefully. That machine is a beast.
Now we've got the harvester and the attachment. If we look in the top left, you can see the harvester is highlighted. So when I press L1, R1 and L1 and R1, we will have options to control all that piece of equipment. And then once you press triangle or Y, the highlight should switch to the attachment behind it, like now. So if I keep pressing triangle or Y on Xbox, you can see that that's changing, and depending on what we select, we are able to select different options for that attachment.
So let's do this. You'll need to prepare the machine. With a combine harvester, the header cuts the plants. Those headers have different widths depending on the size of the combine. Go detach the trailer. Then drive the harvester with its front to the header and attach it.
Which is normally X or A on Xbox. Now we just need to line up the harvester with a header, and we should get a prompt on the bottom for attachment. So we press X to attach the header.
Good, you're almost set now. Before you can start harvesting, the grain tank needs to be unfolded. Do that and bring yourself into position on the field.
Right, so let's get started. We're going to press L1 and what one is it? X to unfold the harvester. And then we can start turning it on.
You can see that the field is nearly done already. I was feeling a little wobbly in the knees earlier, so I left it for you. Thought you might want to try it out anyway. All you need to do is to steer the harvester into the field. Unfold the tank, start the harvester, and do the rest.
I think we need to start calling Grandad Arthur,
With a
isn't he?
combine
Arthur
of this
Job.
size, harvesting takes some time. But soon you will be able to buy a bigger one. Now go at it and show the crop who's the farmer.
Same thing as the cultivated and that really, once we get to the end. We can lift the header and then spin around quicker. As you can see, we can turn swaths on and off. This would be so we could pick up some straw later, but to change that setting, all you have to do is press L1 and select right on the D-pad. We'll turn that back on. As you can see, without lifting the header, it's quite slow to manoeuvre around. And if you want the inside view, it's right stick on PlayStation. I'm not sure what it is on Xbox, it must be the same one. You just press it in and you can change your view.
one, kiddo. That's it. You have my blood in your veins, after all. The harvester has a limited capacity to store the crop. Now we need to unload the wheat onto a trailer to sell it. Prepare your harvester for unloading by unfolding the pipe.
Right, let's do what this says. It's not showing up on here, but to extend the pipe, it's L1 and down on the D-pad. But we just park here. So let's extend the pipe, L1 and down. Then we can go grab the tractor with the
pipe
trailer.
will start extending, and the wheat will start to pour out automatically. But we're missing something, aren't we? There's no trailer here just yet. Go get the trailer in the garage. Come back to the field so we can unload.
With the trailer, we have got this bit selected, highlighted. So what we can do with this trailer is if we press R1, we can tip which way we want to tip the trailer. Tip side grain door, left or right.
To empty the tank of your harvester, pull along to it on the driver's side of the harvester. If the trailer is in the correct position directly below the pipe, the harvester will start to unload automatically.
Let's park under the pipe.
Neat, huh? Wait it out until it's unloaded. Well done, kiddo. You can either store the crop in your silo or you can sell it. This load I promised to a vendor friend of mine. He's already waiting for you. So all you gotta do is drive the tractor with the trailer to his unloading station. Now drive to the grain elevator to sell the wheat.
Something else it doesn't mention, if you want your beacons on, if you hold, I think it's R1 and up, or R1 and down, if the vehicle has beacons you're able to use the beacons, and for the lights it's R1 and circle. You can cycle through the various lights if it has them. That would be right back and B on Xbox, I think. Also we've got cruise control. If you press the two bumper buttons, you can press circle and activate cruise control, and using the left analog stick up and down we can change the speed. As you see, our cruise control is set to 24. Also, I forgot to tell you, we have got indicators, so if you press R1 or RB is it, and then left or right on the D-pad, you can select the indicators, and then R1 and circle, you should be able to control the lights. But we haven't got beacons on here, so I can't show you the beacons. But you would press R1 and up on the D-pad. And here we've got R1, right button, right on the D-pad and left on the D-pad, or right back on Xbox.
This is one of many selling points. If you don't like the prices you get on the market, you can also store the grain in your farm silo to wait it out. Sell your goods later. But now, let's get to it. Drive the trailer over the tip area and unload.
With the trailer highlighted, we can just drive up to silo and we should get a prompt to tip. You can see there we're tipping from the grain door. If I press R1 and down on the D-pad, we can change that to back, and then that will tip a lot more quicker and faster.
Well done. At some point, you'll do this in your sleep. Now, let's go back to the farm, shall we?
So I think this should do it for this tutorial so far. Just going to head back to the farm. If people still need any tips or want me to continue with what to do next, leave me a like. I guess what I would say is either plough or cultivate the fields and then reseed them. But we see how well this video does. Yeah, I could continue this as a play along together. If anyone wants to, just let me know in the comments. Let's just talk to Grandad.
You're back. Splendid. I started wondering if you joined your father. Well, where were we? Right. You've seen the most important steps on the field now. There's always more to do, like yield improvement, liming, fertilizing, weeding. Those require special equipment. Next thing is gaining a bit of a feel for everything. I'll just leave you to it so you can try out a few things. You don't want your old grandpa meddling with your business all the time, do you? But I'll be here if you need anything. If you want more detailed info, you can also ask Ben. He has been one of my most trusted helpers in the past. He will gladly explain a lot of farming techniques. Now, get to farming. Dung heap indeed. You'll do just fine. This farm is your farm now.
Yeah, let me know if this was helpful, or if you want me to continue working on this farm as a play along, then let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching everyone, and I will see you in the next video.